Yeah. I asked you that night if it was over, like if our intimate part of our marriage was over, and you said it was over.
No, I just shrugged my shoulders. I didn't tell you it was over.
You said that you were not attracted to me, and we would not have an intimate marriage.
I didn't use those words at all.
You've used the words enough.
I shrugged my shoulders and said, we'll see. I didn't use those words.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. All right, it's Monday, August 29th. Yesterday I was in bed all day sick. Does anyone else get sick on the days that you're supposed to have off? And it was literally my 12th anniversary yesterday, and literally I was in bed all day. My husband had this like nice meal planned for us and I couldn't eat because my stomach was in knots all day. Anyways, I hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to my channel. Just finished a video up on the Duggars. Now we're going to talk about Kody Brown and the Sister Wives because y'all, there was some new stuff that came out on Friday. Listen, I didn't film on Friday because I went out for lunch with my husband and we celebrated our 12th anniversary. By the way, happy anniversary, honey. I love you. You're amazing. 12 years, the best years. And we didn't film. And so here I am today. It's Monday. It's time to get back to things. And TLC was releasing a portion of the first episode of Sister Wives, which will debut in like 2 weeks, 2 weeks from yesterday. In the new season, we're going to see Christine and Kody split up. And in the first part of the conversation, we see Kody and Christine talk about what resulted in their split. Now, last week, Christine did a huge spread with People magazine and did a lot of talking about her leaving Kody and leaving polygamy and feeling like a whole new person and just feeling very happy, and life is a lot less complicated and she's enjoying herself now, which is amazing. So having to go back time to her actually dealing with all of this is probably going to be drudging up a lot of feelings, but we get a good insight into how this all went down. So we pick up this season with the two of them talking about the end of their marriage. Last season, she was packing him up out of the house and kicking him out, okay? This season, now we're going to be talking, and this is the part one of the conversation. So in part one, they're talking about the end of the intimacy of their marriage, and they actually have a disagreement about what happened in this conversation. So if you remember, she said that he told her that he did not want to have an intimate marriage with her anymore. And he said, I never said that. In the confrontation, this is how it goes.
Yeah. I asked you that night if it was over, like if our intimate part of our marriage was over, and you said it was over.
No, I just shrugged my shoulders. I didn't tell you it was over.
You said that you were not attracted to me.
Okay, so she says the night that they have this conversation, he says that he does not want to have an intimate marriage with her anymore. He says, I did not say those words, and I said I shrugged my shoulders. Is this like gaslighting? If you're in a marriage with someone and you're with someone and they're like, I don't want to be intimate with you anymore and I don't want to have any intimacy in our marriage anymore. And Christine specified that this is not just about being physically intimate, it's about being like emotionally connected as well. How would you react if your husband said like, I don't know. Now, Kody actually says that he doesn't say those words, and then he it's very awkward. You can tell that, she has a feeling deep in her soul that he does not feel attracted to her. I mean, hell, he wrote about in a book, Becoming Sister Wives, about how when they first traveled together and they were just getting to know each other, she ate some chili cheese and nachos and he was disgusted with her for eating the nachos and he thought she was super unattractive because he was basically saying she was like a pig, eating too much food. So I don't know how you not he brings that up a lot. So she's heard this enough. So for him to act like he's not attracted to her is, I call BS on that.
And we would
Christine,
not have it into
I
marriage.
didn't use those words at all.
Well, you've used the words enough.
I shrugged my shoulders and said, we'll see.
I shrugged my shoulders and said, we'll see. Okay, so if you're in a vulnerable space, again, caveat here, if you're in a vulnerable space with your husband and you're trying to figure out the next steps and where you're going, and mind you, Christine's probably 1 foot out the door, so this is maybe just her like testing the waters, and he says, we'll see. I mean, is that reassuring to you? And Kody, mind you, doesn't do a lot to fix the relationship. And then this is the part where it's just so disgusting because this is just the part, just check this out.
She had been telling family members that she was wanting to leave me. She's been telling everybody she wants to leave, and she's never told me. So when she says that, she asks me if we're ever going to be intimate, I'm hearing rumors that she's been threatening to leave. She hasn't been talking to me. I shrug my shoulders because I'm not going to be fooling around with a woman who's talking about leaving me.
Okay, so Kody's argument here is that for a long time he was hearing that Christine was going to leave, and she was literally telling everyone that she was going to leave. So there's all these rumors that are coming up, and they're talking about how Christine is going to leave and she wants to leave and she doesn't want to be with him anymore. Okay? And he says that he doesn't want to fool around with a woman who's on 1 foot out the door. And he doesn't want to be with someone who wants to leave. And he says, well, she never told me about it. Mind you, he doesn't talk to her about it either. So if she's having a conversation, in a one-on-one with one of her sister wives and just sort of feeling the world of like how she's feeling about things, that's a huge violation of trust between the relationship she has with her sister wives if she's confiding in them about how she feels, and then they're running to Kody and telling him. And then if he knows that and he doesn't talk to her about it and he doesn't say, hey, this is what I'm hearing, is this true? Is it her to blame, or is it him to blame, or is it just that they were both ready to be done, right? How she said that she went to do Isabel's surgery, and she kind of, at that point, it was like this wake-up call. And she said that she could be independent and she didn't need him anymore. That was probably around that year that she was talking about leaving him. So if she doesn't bring it up to him and he doesn't bring it up to her, and they're just very distant, like maybe she was just trying to solidify that, yes, this is how you feel about me, so that she can leave. Do you know how you just want to have that one moment where you can just be like, yep, I'm done? That's kind of how I feel like that last conversation was. Like, she wanted to test the waters. And mind you, he was doing nothing to fix it. He's not checking in with her. He's not figuring out what he could do better. He's not trying to help the situation. He's not talking to her. He abandoned her daughter on her surgery. He's all but abandoned her during COVID and yelling at her and talking about what a bully she is. Can you really blame her for not wanting to run to him and tell him like, hey, I might want to not be in this marriage anymore? To me, it just seems like he's shifting blame and blaming her for leaving, for his decision to not want to be with her, when it's pretty clear that they probably didn't want to be together either at this point. But the long-standing issue is that he has not been attracted to her for years, and that he is not hidden. So Christine describes the situation as humiliating, and that's not how it went down. Here's what she said.
He didn't just shrug his shoulders. I mean, can you imagine? It was one of the most humiliating experiences of my life. I don't want to be married to a guy who's just going to shrug his shoulders when I'm asking him if we're going to have an intimate marriage. I don't know. I guess that depends entirely on you. Well, bull that.
So she doesn't want to be with a guy that just shrugs his shoulders and says it depends entirely on you. Some of you guys pointed this out to me on my Instagram when I posted this, that he said the exact same thing to Mary. Like, I will be back with you if you can do X, Y, and Z. Like, you need to have better relationships with the kids. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this. He like has all of these other rules for why he needs to get that person to come back to him. And if you don't do these things, we're not going to be intimate and I don't need to work on it. I mean, he flat out said on an episode that there's no reason for him to actually worry about what's going on with Mary because he had other relationships that were working. So why would he spend his time on a relationship that's not working when he has other women that like him? So it's just easier for him to disregard and not deal with it. Same thing with Christine. If he's got another wife that it's working with, why waste your time on Christine when he can go hang out with Robin, right? Or Janelle or whoever he's getting along with that day. I think for Christine, she never felt like he wanted her, and I think that he never really wanted her, to be honest. I don't think they ever had a connection. I think they had to get married because of polygamy. I think he married her because she was a royalty. I think he liked her bloodline that she brought to the family. I think he wanted as many wives as possible. I don't think he cared about the love, about having it. It was all about having babies. It wasn't about romantic love at all. And I don't think they ever had romantic love. They never seem to be connected in any way. So for Christine, she wants what he cannot give, and he doesn't care to give her what she wants because he can get it from someone else. And he's gaslighting her. And this is just further proof that she needed to leave. And he does humiliate her. If a guy wants to have all these wives and claim that he's super happy, but then doesn't want to put in the work and then tells the wives that if they want to be with him, they need to basically just keep sweet and just, it's on you. So he never has to do anything. He never has to change. He never has to improve. He never has to be a better husband. It's their fault that he is the way that he is. And if they don't give him what he wants, then he goes somewhere else. And he already showed her that that's what he was going to do with Mary. And she said she didn't want what Mary and him had. So she was humiliated and she left. So this is part 1. I'm interested to see what part 2 will be. I'm hoping they release that soon. But what were your thoughts about the first part of their conversation? Are you on Team Kody or are you on Team Christine? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.